My boss has asked me to review him personally. Should I be honest? Are you prepared to live in a completely hostile work environment? Do you have another job lined up that you can start the day after this meeting? If no, then I really don't have any feedback to provide. Insert smile here. Do you have any feedback you'd like to provide me? I would stay away from being honest, even though he asked. You have everything to lose if he takes your feedback the wrong way, which it sounds like he will. You should compliment him, and if he pushes for something negative, I would say, I don't like how we've been put in an uncomfortable position of being forced to review you. I am a non-confrontational person and wish you had never asked us to do this. So I would say you might want to consider how others feel about something like this in the future. Don't just say you admire him too much to be objective, and perhaps he should ask people who think he needs a change in style. Stay out of it and work to find a new job in due course. I think you should take this as an opportunity to tell him how he can be a better boss for you. Forget everyone else. Treat this as an opportunity to simultaneously kiss his ass and ask for the moon if there's something you want. Focus on him helping you, because developing talent is part of his job. For example, you could say something like, I would like to move into a management position. I'd like you to help mentor me to hone the skills to make that happen. If there's some project you want to do, ask him if you can do it. And you'll need his advice and for him to be your champion. Concentrate on how he can make your career better. That's your review. That's what you want out of him. Not unless you don't like your job. Lol, oh my goodness, no. That would be a trap. You just have to accept that some parts of working in corporate America are fake, including things like this. A lot depends on you, your boss, and your workplace. But if possible, I would do the compliment sandwich thing and talk about one thing he's good at, one important thing you don't like tactfully, and another thing he's good at. It would help to think of a genuine aspect that is easy to improve, or something most people struggle with that would set him apart. Most people struggle with crutch words like which is evident during presentations and detracts from the presentation's impact. If you've noticed him using crutch words, you could mention it, and say you noticed because you've been working on that same problem yourself. Just an example. He obviously wants you to bring at least some critique to the table. Not totally honest like talking to your grandmother honest, you say things like, I really like this idea, but think X and Y would be an improvement on your brilliant idea. A gentle guide towards some solutions, not problems without solutions. Do not be honest. Flatter him in a way that looks like a balanced review. Give him improvement areas that are actually compliments. For example, you're such a visionary and challenging boss that you're hard to keep up with, crap like that. You know perfectly well he's fishing for compliments, so give it up. Not that hard, Simon. I would give some practical suggestions for how to be a better boss, stuff like processes, management skills, etc. I would not tell him he's weirdly sensitive and passive-aggressive. Or maybe you can couch it in management terms. Sometimes the team feels uncomfortable when we say something, and then it feels like it's interpreted as if we're criticizing you when we're not. No, don't be too honest. Give him softball feedback like, I wish I had more of your time, but I know you are so busy, or I appreciate your feedback especially when it's timely. No. Be honest, but don't be petty, and make sure your criticism is constructive. Keep it professional. I would not bring up any of this little dumb shit that doesn't matter. You won't get paid more for being a little hero. This is really an effort in tact. You absolutely can be honest if you are tactful and kind in the process. People who are looking for feedback typically ask it from people they trust, and typically if you're coming from a good place it can land well and actually improve your relationship. Rather than saying you're an insecure idiot in meetings, you can say, sometimes we get a bit off track and meetings cross communications wires during meetings, because your dry sense of humor isn't always picked up on, and people feel the need to backtrack or something like that. That way it's focusing on the issue of productivity, not his insecurity. It's hard because you're such a great boss. Honestly, if you must, and you think he can take it, use the sandwich method. Compliment, constructive criticism. Compliment. You're a great man, everyone loves you and thinks you're a genius. Some people have mentioned that they feel a little awkward if they correct you or tell you something you didn't know. But you're still the easiest boss we've all worked for, and everyone loves you. Never raw dog criticism. But I wouldn't do it. Be honest, but treat them with care. Narcissistic egos can be very fragile, especially where perceived slights are concerned. When handling negative news, try the sandwich technique. Find a positive, slip in the criticism, end in another positive. Poor time management. You suck at prioritizing tasks and often lay too many projects on staff who are already overworked. VS, I've always found you easy to talk to, and when something needs resolved, we know we can rely on you. Sometimes there are moments where we take on too much work and have difficulty prioritizing tasks, but you always help the team bounce back. It's the same bad news, but using softer language, we in the negative and you in the positive. Manage your manager. Light that dumpster on fire. Nothing good can come to you out of honesty like this. I am SR leadership at a large company and this is all risk and no reward. Tell him what he wants to hear or say nothing. I wouldn't review him per se, but take it as an opportunity to have a chat that might reassure him and boost your relationship a bit. Say something along the lines of, I don't have any complaints about working for you. Sometimes I do get the impression that you feel like I think poorly of you though. If I could change one thing, I'd like for you to let your guard down a little with me because that couldn't be further from the truth. Or something like that. Basically, stop crying victim when I communicate with you, but sugarcoated for his oversensitive ears. There is no way I would give an honest review to a person like that, especially when he's the freaking boss. That's a recipe for disaster. This feels just like those "does this dress make my ass look fat" questions your girlfriend asks. Avoid.